So as another example of how wonderful the DFE are at absolutely gaslighting teachers who are on their knees, today comes this news. Gillian Keegan today has said that because of the school strikes last year resulted in 25 million school days being lost. I'm too tired to even work the maths out there, but going off her department's maths skills, I'd say there's something off about that she's trying to introduce minimum service levels in schools to make sure pupils get the education they need and deserve. Coming from a government who over the past 13 years have literally decimated the education system. That's pretty much like me being a PT, turning to a client and saying, right, here's your diet plan, okay? Breakfast, Mackey's. Lunch, Colonel, bit of KFC. Then you're going to have a dinner of a Chinese takeaway, followed by an Indian for supper, yeah? And then having a massive go at them when they don't lose weight. That analogy works, doesn't it? To be honest, I'm just too tired to even think. I'm just too tired of working in this education system, thanks to them. Like, to try and make out that teachers striking is what needs to stop to improve education is laughable if I had the energy. Now, I know a lot of teachers were striking last year and pay was one of the issues, despite the government believing all those gaslighting tropes of, well, you know, you're not in it for the income, you're in it for the outcome. But school staff still need to make ends meet. And when the job is so tough and stressful because of workload issues, school staff shouldn't, during a cost of living crisis, have outside worry and stress of making ends meet. And I know this is an issue for so many people, so I'm not saying this is exclusive to teachers. But pay was just one of the issues. For the past decade, as teachers, we've seen how budget cuts, underfunding has decimated our education system, has meant that children aren't getting the quality of education we want them to have. I mean, coming out with this, have we even solved the RAC crisis yet? Look at SEND provision and how that's on its absolute knees. It needs a complete and utter overhaul and so much more investment to supporting children with specific needs. There are some children with EHCP plans that can't get a full-time place in school because despite the schools bending over backwards to do everything in their power, the system and the infrastructure is not set up to accommodate these children. And it's just failing in every place. Look at the retention issues in education. Look how bad it is trying to get people into the profession, and even worse, keeping people in the profession. Kids going to school in buildings that are crumbling around them. Children in classes bigger than they've ever been before. Children being taught lessons by teachers who are not qualified in the subject they are teaching. All of these things, because of decisions being made by the powers that be, are the reason why children are getting a worse deal in our education system. And teachers striking was a stand against that. And so many teachers who were striking last year were striking because they are just fed up with the underfunding and the undervaluing of everything within education. Not just the pay for teachers, that's just one element. It's the lack of support staff now because of budgets. It's everything rolled in to that dispute, because what we want is we want an education system that works for children. And when you work in this system and see how it's been decimated because of this government, that's what made us strike. What do the government think needs to happen now? Well, stop the teachers striking. No, we can't be having that. We can't have teachers have a say or a voice in anything.